Good morning, guys. So we are going to be sticking on the bus again this weekend. Last weekend we got the fuel lines all taken care of, shifter bushings taken care of. We actually took her out and drove her, and you know what? It's pretty fun. And I am still waiting for my slew of parts to come in for the COE. I ordered some glass, side glass, back glass, all the door channels, things for the glass to slide, the anti-rattle stuff. But anyway, so I'm still waiting for all that stuff. And I'm this is like 90% done. Like I can just drive it to the store, or if we want to go over to like the outlet malls or something or whatever, we can just jump in this thing and go. So what we're going to do today is I did find the J tubes for the exhaust to remove the heater boxes. I apologize for the chainsaw in the background, but my neighbors are doing some tree work, and that's how it is. Hopefully the microphone will just catch me and not that. So I'm going to be working on the interior panels up in here, which is they're curved, right? Since I have some pieces of ABS and on COE heating it up and curving it worked out so well, I'm going to try that on this. Why not, right? The only thing I'm trying to wrap around my head here is these vents. So this is a cargo van. It was never like a camper, so to speak. So this would normally be covered up, like this would be one sheet and the vents wouldn't be here. They are made in such a way that water will not go inside. But for me, I don't know, wind will still come through here, bugs or roaches, lizards, whatever we got going on here. And if we do end up taking this out camping, I really don't want that. So I'm still trying to figure it out. Anything short of just like welding in pieces of metal on the backside to close that up, I'm not sure. I may get some screening and just attach screen to the inside so nothing comes through. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I mean, I wrapped my head around that the other day, trying to figure it out, just thinking through my head how I was going to do that. Okay, so a long time ago when I was doing those interior panels in there, I did made a template for these back sections here and here. So, and this is the template. And when I tried to bend it, it cracked right there. So that tells me that this is not, I mean, if this was 1/8 inch thick, not 3/16, it'd probably work out pretty good. In fact, if I had, well, that's 1/8 inch thick ABS. So I know it'll make the bend as long as I heat it up. And like I said, my heat gun MIA / broke / I have no idea where it is to even see if I can get it to work right. And I've had that thing for years. So it's okay that it kind of bit the bed. But anyway, so one template will do both sides. You just have to reverse it. So what I'm going to do is I'll set you up in here. We'll just start tackling that because that's out of the things that I'd like to do. That's going to be, it's not going to be the hardest. It's not going to be the easiest, but it's a good place to start first thing in the morning. So I've got it set up on my ABS here. Let me move you over here so it's a little easier to see. So I got it set up on the ABS. I just have to draw it out or, trace it out and then go from there, right? So I may have to dip out just so I can get some screening to put up in there. I am going to be using some of the silver sound deadening to put on these panels right here and right back here. If you watch the other videos, you know that I've already done the sound deadening strips along the sides. right? Everywhere where there's an interior panel already, I did that. And I also want to paint that inside divider orange because I think it would match very well. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing. We're just kind of filling up some time here, waiting for parts for the other project. And this is a great way to finish up this project, or at least get to 98% finished, right? Because right now she runs, she drives, she stops. But is my confidence level there to drive it, let's say, to work? Now, driving to work is not so bad in general, but I have a lot of stop and go traffic. I mean, down one particular road that I have to drive, and it's like a major road, like 4 lanes on each way, going one way or the other. And that's in traffic, and that's what I have a problem with. Like, will this thing heat up? I don't know. I'm also thinking about getting scoops. They make these little scoops that go right here to kind of force the air in as you drive. Supposedly it lowers your engine temps by like 10 degrees. I don't know. But anyway, so here we are. So let's just get into this. So that been pretty easy, into place. So I'm just gonna kind of heat up this area right here just so it stays that way. And again, I'm going to be using the torch because I don't really have anything, my heat gun situation. So anyway, here we go. So we'll let that cool down and see how it did. And these back panels I'm making, I'm just going to paint these orange to just kind of brighten up the back. I think it'll be a nice contrast. You know, it'll be like the cargo area. So I think that'll be good with the brown. I mean, I know it looks good with the brown already. It's just that that's probably what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to cut the other piece and get that all bent in there on this side, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, so I've got my panels drying. So we're going to kind of address these vents in the back. So these guys right here. So as you can see, you know, that's just an area for bugs to come in or water or whatever. So I think I'm going to seal them off. I do have a piece of 22 gauge. I don't think I'll be welding that piece in. I'll probably just be bonding it to the inside. I did not put any of the sound deadening around that area just in case I was going to do that. So like I said, I got a piece of 22, real easy to move, bend around. So I'm going to take a couple templates of those pieces in there and then just probably just cover the holes. Easier said than done, but let's see what we can do. So basically I have to shove a piece of paper in there, make a template, and then bond it to the inside. So you kind of like fix one thing and then it's like, then you got to think of other things. And that's kind of how this goes. But I really don't have too much else going on. So besides like maybe doing the J-tubes, sanding down the front and rear bumper, painting those white. Yeah. So let me get to work on trying to figure out how to do this. Be right back. So these pieces are 12 inches long. So the piece I got is 24. So I'm going to cut this in half. And then I'm just going to start making 1/2 inch strips. And I need 1, 2, 3. I need 6. So let's bring you over here. And let's just start doing it. And like I said, I'm just going to bond these to the inside. You're not going to get a lot of wear, we'll say. But, you know, why not? So there's all my J-tube stuff right there. And actually, when I dug them out of the box that I got over there, these aren't like the typical ones like you see on Amazon or whatever. The Amazon ones are pretty straight, like they're straight back. These actually have a kick up. So I don't know. We'll see how these go. I had to clean the stickers off because obviously they're stickers. And I'm not sure about industrial tins or heat shields or whatever. I haven't figured that far forward yet. I'll probably have to make something, but I've got the gaskets, the exhaust nuts, the correct ones, and little clamp guys. But we're working on this right now. So let me get my marker. So I may have to just zap, just to hold it in place in order for me to actually bond the rest of it in, because I don't see how I'm going to be able to hold this up in there and bond it in without it moving. So I think that's what's going to have to happen. Okay guys, so I changed my mind. So I'm just going to make off one black block off plate, put it in there, and then that'll be a little bit easier to hold it in place while I bond it up. So let me bring it in here. So there we are. So I'm thinking I bent the ends down, so it'll go just like that. Yep, just like that. And that'll be perfect right there. Yep. We just got to kind of curve the edge a little bit for that. And we should be good. Yeah. So that way I can just kind of tack it a couple spots right there, just to kind of hold it in place for me to bond it up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sand up this side, and then I'm just going to paint it orange. So it'll look, so from the outside it'll be orange, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing. So let me just paint this real quick, let it dry, and then while that's drying, I'll make the other side. Okay guys, so I kind of don't recommend doing this with the carpet and all this. This probably should have been thought out beforehand, but here we are. So yeah, let's just tack this into place just so it holds it. I'm not looking for full weld here. I'm just looking for tact. Just like that. I'll let the bonding stuff do the rest. But that'll get me there so I can bond it all the way around. Yep. Perfect. And then I made one for the other side. So from the outside, it's hard to see it, but I'll show you once it's all done. So from the outside, it looks orange in there and it blocks it off, right? I like that way much better. All right, let me get to that. All right, guys, so we got our little covers made, all attached, spot welded a couple spots up along the top here, and then sealed it all in. So that should be good to go. And let me pop the panel in here real quick and I'll show you how it looks. I don't know, guys. I kind of think that should be brown. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That may be too much orange. Let me get the other side on and then we'll see. All right, guys, so I still have that old piece that I did for the GM or for the Ford. I'm thinking that'll look better. Okay, so let me sand these panels down, give them a scuffy, and then I'll put the brown on it because I like the brown better in here. It'll flow more. All right, here we go. That's going to look way more better. And I'm thinking I was going to do the front panel where the spare tire is on behind the seat, but the panel that goes this way. I was going to do it in the orange too, but now I'm thinking it's going to be brown, you know, because that's a much better match. And since I've already done that color material in the last two builds that I did for the COEs, this is actually a good match. So back there would have been way too much orange. So I'm glad I have a case of this just sitting around. All right, so I'm going to let that set up. Maybe put another coat on there while I'm doing other things. Yeah, so we'll be back. All right, guys. So we got those back pieces in. They look great. I like it, the darker brown color now. We got the front piece all painted up. Sanded that down with some 180 and red Scotch Brite just to kind of scuff it up. We did like a two-tone in there, orange on the top, and then the brown insert where the spare tire is. I'll show you that real quick. Then I moved the seats forward. Found an issue with seats, but I'll fix that. Yeah, but let me show you how it looks on the inside now. So there we are. So these panels are in, and then I've got that colored, the espresso as well, and then I finished painting that top part and this edge here, the orange color, and then I went up into the rails on both sides there. And then over on that side, it's hard to see, but yeah. And then from the outside, see that? So those are just orange inside there, and that's going to be perfect on both sides. Right there and right, well, it's hard to see it, but right there. So, like I said, I masked that off and then I painted that all orange. So it kind of carries that theme here along here. And then I painted this whole backside orange. I got to take the spare tire out. I think I'm going to paint that orange inside there too. But what I found out with the seat is this one hook right here that it rotates on, it doesn't actually clip in. And it doesn't clip in because it's got all this, it's got these seat covers on there, and they are new seat covers ish, but all they got is just like some foam stuffed in there. So it's not even fitting right. So that explains a lot. When I sit down, I just sink way down. Feels kind of like a low rider. I'm a shorty. But anyway, so yeah. So probably what I'll do is that seat right there doesn't stay forward. So you can see I have this little guy right there. So I'm probably gonna just kind of tape that up and then pull out the spare tire, paint all that orange in there. But overall, let me grab a light and I'll shut that back door down. Now that top piece is white. I'm thinking I may paint it orange just to kind of match the flow back there. But just give me a second. Okay, now I have a couple lights up in here. So now you can see it. You can see that's white. I think I should paint that orange before I get someone out here to put the black glass in because I can't get it in. And then there's the front. Let me angle the light down. There we go. And then there's the front. I think that looks awesome. So I need to get some of that Home Depot carpet special stuff. That stuff is really cheap, just to kind of cover this. I was thinking of just maybe putting a piece of maybe like wood right here for like a step in, but I don't know. I haven't decided that yet, but that looks pretty darn good. Alrighty, guys, I think that's going to wrap up today. Not bad, I'm going to say, for just using stuff that I had. Yeah, I think that's great. So it is about 5 o'clock. Of course, that took way longer than expected, as anything else always does. You figure it's only going to be a couple hours, I'll knock that out and then I'll move on to something else. But that is not the case. So what we'll do is we'll pick up tomorrow where we left off today. I just a little update. I did get my glass all in, but unfortunately the back window is not the right piece of glass. So I'm trying to deal with that. Anyway, so until tomorrow, guys. Good morning, guys. So this morning I've been running around trying to pick up some stuff. So you can see I painted this orange last night. I just stayed in here for about an hour or so, and I taped this off and I painted this orange, and then I finished painting the spare tire area orange too. So now that that's done, I went this morning because what I want to do, I have a lot of running around to do today. One son I have to pick up from the bus stop. Then I have another son that I got to take to work. So my day's kind of jammed up like that. So I want to just make a template for the carpet to put down inside there. Clean out a little bit. I found out that my door handle fell apart on the driver's passenger side. They didn't use a nylock on the nut, so it eventually worked itself off, and now you can't open up that door, the passenger side, from the inside because the rod isn't connected. It's little stupid stuff like that. So I ran, you can't really see it, but I ran down and I got more of this carpet. So this carpet is called Truly Coffee, and it's at Home Depot. And when I bought this carpet right here, it was from the GMC, and it's really, really inexpensive. And but what I like about it is it doesn't have a heavy backer on it, so it forms really nice. So I ended up getting 12 yards of it, 12 square yards. It's 12 feet long, and then I got 12 feet or 9 feet wide. That'll be enough to do this. That'll be enough to do the COE over there. So it's kind of like, it's not just for this project, right? And it was like 80 bucks. really. Very inexpensive stuff. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make the template, lay that down. Yes, I have the J tubes I want to put on it, but we're really running into some issues getting the correct parts for the COE. I briefly said yesterday that the back glass that I got in is like way too small. And from the picture, you can see that it's way so small. So I'm waiting to hear back from the seller. I got it off eBay on how they want to proceed with this because I did get the door glass in as well, and the door glass is perfect, but that back window is not, and it's listed for a 47 Ford truck, and the 47 Ford truck is the same. COE is the same as the truck, meaning the windows, the glass, right? The only difference is the front glass because it opens like that. But I'm having custom glass made for that anyway, eventually when someone gets back to me on that. So we'll probably be doing more things on this next weekend. Like I said, probably that's when I'll do the J tubes. That's probably when I'm gonna do the bumpers and stuff like that. Get that all squared away. Yeah. So let's make a template of the floor in there because it does have some curves and stuff in the back half, and that'll be easy peasy, I think. And then we'll go from there. So let's just kind of jump into this. I have to pull the truck out. I have to sweep the floor because I have to lay out the carpet so I can mark it and then cut it. So here we go. Okay, so here we are inside. It's basically a big box. The only time that it gets weird is back where the fender wells are. So I'm just going to cut out a piece. I'm not going to bother with the template part because once we get it in here, we can lay it down. And then, you know, I want it to overlap the back half back there. So far what I've got is 62 from that wall to 1 inch past the actual doorway. So 62 this way, and then we'll measure up this way to this way. This should be, if I remember correctly, should be 60, yep, so 60, we'll say 64 inches. And then to come up quite a bit, we'll add another 20 inches. So 64, is that what I said? I forget. Yeah, 64 by add 20, so 64 and 20 is 84. So 84 this way and 62 this way. So let me get the carpet rolled out and then we'll get that. Well, step one, it's in. So now we just have to trim the corners up there. I don't know if I'm going to go even with the floor, like even with the bottom, probably. So I'm going to have to shift the whole thing down. That's okay. Yeah. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Okay. Yep. There we go. Also, the other thing that's really good with this carpet is that when you drill a hole through it, it just goes right through it. It doesn't pull the threading out, which I kind of like. I mean, I found that out on GMC, but I still like to melt the hole first, just because, just in case kind of situation. But yeah, for 80 bucks, you saw the amount that I had left over. That'll do this. I'll probably do the front area, not the floor in the front, but where the seats go, do that. And then it's really about just trimming it out all the way down the sides, whether it be with metal or with wood, whatever your feel is for it. But, I'm kind of building this one on a budget too, I mean, why not? If you can take a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and think outside the box of what you would normally use for something, why not? It saves money for sure. I mean, how much would an interior be for this? I mean, I probably have, let's see, we'll say 25 bucks for this piece of carpet if I were to just buy the carpet. The ABS was given to me. Let's see, the panel 68. I probably have 150, maybe 200 bucks in the entire interior that as you see it sit right now. Yeah, I'll go with that. All right, so let me get a sharper razor blade so I can start making my cuts around these little areas right here and right there. And probably what I'll do is I'll probably put definitely like a kick plate right along here, probably something down through here just to kind of attach it down, because I don't want to glue it to the floor, even though it'd probably be better. I mean, just this carpet alone takes the ridges out. I like it, and it'll quiet it down. All right, let me get a sharp razor blade. All right, so there it is. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the carpet up. I'm going to paint on both sides, there and there, the espresso color, just to kind of, so it doesn't look like that. I guess I could put carpet over it, but you know, you're not even going to see it eventually. And then it's on that side too. But we have it all tucked up underneath there, down through there. Well, that's just setting in there. And then I trimmed it along here. So, yeah, so let me peel this back up, peel this back that way, and then I'll just blow some color on the wheel wells right there. So it'll kind of blend in a lot better than what we got right now, right? But that was pretty easy. Oh, and let me show you. Oh, so I did get that all painted. I cleaned all that. Like I said, I just hit this with 180 and a red Scotch-Brite just so it would give something to adhere to. And then we'll go from there. All right. So there we go. So I painted that fender well and that fender well. Again, just so when I put the carpet down in, it won't stick out white, right? So let's let that dry up, and then let's see what we can do with these front areas here. All right, guys, so I got this seat out. This was pretty easy. There's just two clips that it just clicks into, and then it folds forward. And one of the clips, this one right here, wasn't even really holding anything. It's kind of hyper extended out, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is probably I'm just gonna kind of take a template of this part right here, and I want to leave this open, obviously, but it had like some sort of little jack back underneath there. I haven't even, since I've had it, I haven't even poked around in there to see what was in there. I'm glad I didn't find like a dead mouse or anything, that's for sure. So we'll kind of set you up over here, and I'll make a template of this area, my rough measurements, right there, and we will see what we can do. All right, guys. So the seat is in. It's now filled out, at least in the back. It feels a little firmer right here. This, it is what it is, I guess, for now. But this isn't like trying to restore this thing. It's just making it a little better than what it was. So this is that little vinyl piece, but right here, it kind of flibble-flabbled. So I'll probably just get a piece of aluminum to put there. Metal's probably better. I am not cutting this off until I get a pad or something right here, so I know how much to cut it off. Oh, of course it won't lift forward. The seatbelt. The seatbelt is a little weird. Like I don't know. I guess it's always thinking two people are going to ride with you. Yeah, but anyway. So there's that. And then when you lift it forward, those guys right there are the clips that it just clips into. And I kind of pushed them down a little so they would be a little bit more of a positive click. But that's not bad at all. And for now, I just put the carpet down so it just kind of looks finished off. And then when I get the other piece of carpet made and put in, it's going to be seamed right there. And then I'm going to put basically like 1/4 bolts through there. And then what that will do is actually just hold all this extra material up. And then I'll put a piece of carpet in there. But heck, that's not bad at all. So on the driver's side, we'll put that over there. We'll put that over there. So that is like, there's nothing in there. A little something in there. This folds just forward like that. So I've got to figure out, I think there's just some bolts. Okay, I really have no idea how that seat comes out. There's no bolts running through it. So it should maybe just unclip. I don't know yet. But anyway, so let me just kind of look at this for a minute to see how much farther I can get going. And then we'll go from there. All right, well, I figured out how to take out the front seat. So there is this little lever. You push it all the way down, and then the seat slides right out of the track. So there it is. It just kind of slides right in over there. And that's what kind of holds it in place. Okay, so that was pretty easy. So let me take the seatbelt off and then measure this side for carpet. All right, guys. So I just put the driver's seat back in. I gotta head out here, but it's real easy to take out, so it's not like it's anything. But I already showed you the passenger side, but let me show you the driver's side. So there's the driver's side. So uh, for this piece right here, I'm just gonna get a piece of, actually I have some aluminum over there. I just have to see if maybe it's long enough to make that stretch from there to there. But you fold the seat forward. It's all carpeted there, all carpeted up underneath. And again, to get these seats out, it's this guy. You just push it that way all the way, and then it slides right out. And then right here, once I get the mat, that'll cover that up, and then I'll know where to cut this. But this is what I'm talking about. See all these holes? That actually hits. I don't like that. And then the scrapes right there. So there's a little bit of finagling I got to do here. I got to cover up that hole, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Whenever they put in that new floor pan, they just didn't quite, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. Anyway, but yeah, so that's that. So we'll go through the back. That like that. And then this came with the bus right here, this little rack. I don't know, it looks pretty good back here. So that's where I'm going to leave it. And then my inside panels here. I did use the rest of the silver sound deadening. That's as far as I got on both sides. So then we'll close this down. I might as well just show you again. Right there. And I got the seatbelt attached so it won't go forward. But you know, that already goes forward. And then in the back, I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll open up the door and hit the other door. And then there's that. So I like that right there. Not too bad. So this weekend, made those, put the carpet down, painted that orange, finished out this frame in orange all through there. The espresso color, painted the other side orange, took out the seats, did the carpet. Oh, and I stuffed some foam in here. See, it kind of, this was all kind of like hanging over. So it kind of stiffened it up. It brought it out a little bit. You know, it's good for now. So I think that's awesome. I really do. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this weekend. We got a lot done on this for the interior stuff. I'm happy about that. We're probably going to stick on this for the next couple weekends just to kind of finish buttoning up the other things that I want to get finished up on it. I do want to kind of take this to Bug Jam, which is in about 4 weeks. So I think it would be fun. It's 10 miles away, so I just want to make sure everything is kind of looking the part a little bit. You know, I'm not looking for trophies. I'm just looking for from about 10 feet away, maybe 20 feet away. It looks pretty good. So again, guys, thanks for joining me on the VW. She's a good old girl, and we're really just getting her back into shape here, right? So anyway, so we'll catch you on the next one, and hey, go on and build something cool, guys. One weekend at a time. Catch you on the next one. Bye.